Gentlemen, let's start with a truth many of us tend to overlook. Your body does some of its most important work while you're asleep. Now, I know that might sound a little strange after all. When we think of health, most of us focus on what we do during the day. We think about what we eat for lunch, how much we walk, what workouts we do, or how stressed we feel at work. But here's the thing. Your body's most powerful repair and regeneration phase actually happens after you close your eyes at night. While you're in deep restorative sleep, your body is not just resting, it's busy. It's repairing tissues, balancing hormones, replenishing energy stores, and restoring your nervous system. And when it comes to men's vitality, one of the most important processes that happens overnight is the natural regulation of your testosterone levels and the repair of your blood vessels, both of which are directly linked to what we call morning wood. Now, some of you may be chuckling at that term, but let's get serious for a moment. Morning erections aren't just about sexual readiness, they are a strong indicator of cardiovascular and hormonal health. If you're waking up with them regularly, it's a sign that your blood vessels are functioning properly, your testosterone is where it should be, and your body is in good repair mode. But here's the problem. As we age, the body's natural nighttime repair mechanisms can slow down. Testosterone production may drop, circulation may weaken, and nerve sensitivity may decline. By the time many men hit their 50s, they notice that their once reliable morning erections are either softer, less frequent, or gone altogether. This is where nutrition, specifically nighttime nutrition, comes in. The foods and supplements you give your body before bed can make a huge difference in how effectively your body repairs itself overnight. Think of it this way. If you were fixing up an old car engine, you wouldn't try to do it without the right tools and parts, right? Well, your body's repair process needs the right fuel and raw materials to function at its best. Now, most men get their nutrients during the day, which is fine, but there's a little known advantage to giving your body certain key nutrients just before bed. You see, this timing ensures that those nutrients are readily available in your bloodstream during the very hours when your body is actively repairing tissues, boosting testosterone, and increasing blood flow to vital areas. If your body doesn't have these nutrients at the right time, your repair process is like trying to build a house without enough bricks. You can't get the job done properly. But when you provide the exact nutrient your body needs before sleep, you supercharge your natural nighttime regeneration. The result, you wake up with more energy, stronger morning erections, and a renewed sense of vitality that carries through your day. So the big takeaway here is this. What you put into your body before bed can either slow down or speed up your morning vitality. And the vitamin we're going to talk about today has a unique ability to support blood flow, strengthen your vascular system, and promote healthy testosterone production while you sleep. But before I reveal what it is, we need to understand why morning wood is such a valuable health signal, and that's exactly what we'll cover in the next part of our discussion. Gentlemen, now that we understand how vital nighttime nutrition is, let's dig deeper into something that might seem a little funny at first, but is actually one of the most important natural health checks you can perform on yourself every single morning without any fancy equipment, without any blood tests, and without spending a single dollar. I'm talking about your morning erection, or as it's casually known, morning wood. Here's the truth, this isn't just a sign of sexual readiness. In fact, if you strip away the jokes and the cultural awkwardness around the topic, morning erections are actually one of the clearest indicators of a man's vascular and hormonal health. When you wake up in the morning and notice you've had an erection during sleep or upon waking, it's a sign that your body systems, particularly your cardiovascular and endocrine systems, are functioning well. Why? Because achieving and maintaining an erection depends on three critical factors working together in perfect harmony. Healthy blood flow, your arteries and blood vessels must be open, flexible, and able to deliver a strong surge of blood into the spongy tissue of the penis. Proper nerve signaling, your nervous system has to send the right messages from your brain and spinal cord to trigger and maintain the erection. Balanced hormones, testosterone plays the lead role here, but other hormones like DHE and growth hormone contribute to the process. If any of these three areas is compromised, you'll notice a difference. Maybe it's weaker erections, maybe it's fewer morning ones, or maybe they disappear entirely. And the thing is, this isn't just about intimacy. A consistent loss of morning erections can be an early warning sign of underlying health issues. For example, studies have shown that erectile dysfunction often appears several years before a man experiences symptoms of heart disease. Why? Because the blood vessels in the penis are smaller than the arteries in your heart. That means plaque buildup or reduced circulation will often show up down there before it shows up in your chest. In that sense, your morning erection is like a daily health checkup from your body, saying, all systems go, or hey, something's not right. And now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Morning erections are not purely about sexual stimulation, they're actually part of a normal sleep process called nocturnal penile tumescence. This typically occurs during REM sleep, the deepest, most restorative phase of your sleep cycle. Your brain activity changes, your breathing pattern shifts, and blood flow increases throughout the body. For men, this increased blood flow includes the genital area, resulting in spontaneous erections. If you're getting 3 to 5 erections during the night, which is typical for a healthy man, it means your vascular system is in good shape. Your nerves are firing properly, and your hormones are supporting that function. If you're not, it's worth asking why. This is why men over 50 should pay close attention to whether they're still waking up with morning wood. If it's been missing for weeks, months, or even years, that's not just a sign of getting older. It could be your body's early warning signal that something, whether it's circulation, hormones, sleep quality, or nutrition, is out of balance. And this brings us right back to the vitamin we're focusing on in this discussion. Because when taken before bed, it supports the very systems that morning wood depends on. It boosts blood vessel health, enhances nitric oxide production, and aids in maintaining healthy testosterone levels. That means it can help bring back something you might have thought was gone for good, and with it, a sign that your body is back on track. So as we move forward, remember this: morning wood is not just about what happens in the bedroom. It's a reflection of your heart health, your hormonal balance, your nerve function, and your overall vitality. The good news is, we can influence all of those factors with smart choices, and in the next section, I'm going to introduce you to the vitamin that plays a starring role in this process. Gentlemen, we've talked about how your body repairs itself at night, and why morning wood is such an important health signal. Now it's time to get to the heart of the matter, the nutrient that can help you reclaim that signal, and with it, your energy, drive, and vitality, the vitamin, and I'm talking about is vitamin D3, often called the sunshine vitamin. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, I've heard of that, let me tell you, most men severely underestimate how powerful this vitamin really is when it comes to male health, especially after the age of 50. They think of it as something that's good for bones or something you get from a bit of sunshine, but they don't realize it plays a direct and crucial role in testosterone production, blood flow, and even sexual performance. Here's the science in plain language: testosterone isn't just made out of thin air. Your body needs certain raw materials and specific chemical triggers to produce it. One of those triggers is the presence of vitamin D3. This vitamin acts almost like a switch. When levels are high enough, it tells your testes, all right, let's produce more testosterone. When levels are low, that switch is basically turned off and production slows. Studies have shown that men with higher vitamin D3 levels tend to have significantly higher total testosterone and free testosterone levels. In fact, one large-scale study found that men deficient in vitamin D were far more likely to have low testosterone and the symptoms that come with it: fatigue, weaker erections, reduced muscle mass, and even a drop in mood and motivation. But vitamin D3 doesn't stop at testosterone. It also supports the endothelium, which is the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels. Why does that matter? Because healthy endothelial cells produce nitric oxide, the chemical that relaxes and widens blood vessels, allowing more blood to flow where it needs to go. Without enough nitric oxide, achieving a firm erection becomes difficult, no matter how much testosterone you have. And here's the part that most men don't know: your body uses vitamin D3 more efficiently when it's available during your nighttime repair cycle. That's why taking it before bed rather than just in the morning can give you a noticeable boost over time. While you sleep, vitamin D3 helps regulate your hormonal rhythms, supports testosterone synthesis, and keeps your blood vessels primed for the increased flow that happens during REM sleep. It's also worth noting that as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. That means even if you spend time outdoors, you might not be making enough. And during the colder months, or if you work indoors most of the day, the problem gets even worse. This is why supplementing at the right time becomes so important. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that popping a vitamin D3 capsule tonight is going to magically transform your mornings by tomorrow. This isn't a quick fix pill. But when taken consistently, at the right dosage and timed correctly, it gives your body the essential raw material it needs to turn back the clock on your performance. And here's the part I love: the benefits go far beyond the bedroom. Vitamin D3 supports stronger bones, better muscle function, improved immune health, and even sharper mental focus. But for men over 50, its ability to bring testosterone levels back toward their natural peak is the reason I consider it one of the most important supplements you can take, and taking it before bed makes it even more effective. In our next section, I'm going to explain exactly why nighttime supplementation works better for this purpose, and how it aligns with your body's natural rhythms to help you wake up stronger, harder, and more energized. Gentlemen, we've identified the vitamin. We've looked at how it boosts testosterone and supports the very systems that produce a healthy morning erection. Now, let's talk about something that is often overlooked: timing. When you take a supplement can be just as important as whether you take it at all. And in the case of vitamin D3, I've found that for many men over 50, taking it before bed can unlock benefits they simply don't experience when taking it in the morning. To understand why, we have to look at what your body is doing while you sleep. Sleep isn't just off time for the brain. It's the most active period for repair, recovery, and hormone production. In fact, some of your most important hormones, including testosterone, growth hormone, and melatonin, are secreted in the largest amounts during your deep sleep stages. Here's what's fascinating. The enzymes and pathways your body uses to convert cholesterol into testosterone are most active at night. That means if your body has all the raw materials it needs right before that repair cycle begins, you're essentially giving it a toolbox full of everything it needs to build healthy testosterone levels while you're asleep. Vitamin D3 is one of those key tools. When you take it before bed, it's circulating in your system during those peak hormone production hours. This allows it to help your endocrine system do its job more efficiently, boosting testosterone synthesis, improving calcium metabolism for muscle function, and supporting the endothelial cells that maintain strong blood flow. Now some men ask, but doctor, Grant, doesn't vitamin D3 come from the sun? Shouldn't we take it in the morning to mimic nature? It's a fair question, and yes, in nature, we'd get vitamin D3 from sunlight during the day. But here's the difference. Supplementing isn't about replacing nature perfectly. It's about correcting for the deficiencies that modern life creates. Most men over 50 don't get nearly enough sunlight exposure to maintain healthy vitamin D levels, so supplementing at night becomes more about biological efficiency than imitation of sunlight. There's another benefit to nighttime supplementation that often gets overlooked: sleep quality. Vitamin D3 plays a role in regulating serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin, in your body's main sleep hormone. By taking vitamin D3 before bed, some men notice deeper, more restorative sleep. And when your sleep improves, so does your testosterone, your mood, and your morning vitality. One more thing about timing. When you take supplements during the day, especially in the morning, they have to compete with meals, other supplements, coffee, and daily activities for absorption and utilization. At night, your digestive system and bloodstream are relatively quiet, which means fewer traffic jams for your nutrients. This can give vitamin D3 a clearer path to do its work. Now, let me be clear, this doesn't mean taking vitamin D3 in the morning is wrong. If that's the only time you can remember to take it, it's still worth doing. But if your goal is to optimize testosterone production, vascular health, and yes, to bring back the kind of morning wood that reminds you you're still in the game, then nighttime dosing is a strategy worth trying. In practical terms, here's what I recommend. Take your vitamin D3 supplement about 30-60 minutes before bed, ideally with a small amount of healthy fat like a handful of nuts, a spoon of natural peanut butter, or a slice of avocado because vitamin D3 is fat soluble. This will improve absorption and make sure your body actually uses what you're giving it. If you start this routine and stick with it consistently, most men notice improvements not just in their morning erections, but also in their overall energy, mood, and physical performance within 4-8 weeks. It's not instant magic, it's a steady rebuilding process, and that's the beauty of it. You're not just chasing a quick fix, you're helping your body restore the natural functions that keep you feeling like yourself, or better yet, the best version of yourself. In our next section, I want to show you how this vitamin goes beyond performance and offers a range of benefits that touch every part of your life, from your bones to your brain. Because once you see the bigger picture, you'll understand why I call vitamin D3 a cornerstone nutrient for men over 50. Gentlemen, by now you know that vitamin D3 can help bring back stronger, more reliable morning erections by supporting testosterone production, blood vessel health, and nighttime repair. But here's something important: when I recommend this vitamin to men over 50, I'm not just thinking about their bedroom performance. I'm thinking about the entire man, his body, his mind, his energy, and his quality of life. Because the truth is, the benefits of vitamin D3 go far beyond intimacy. In fact, when you take it consistently, you're working on every major system in your body. And for men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, that's the kind of investment that pays off every single day. Let's start with something we often take for granted until it's too late: bone strength. As we age, bone density naturally decreases, and for many men, that leads to a higher risk of fractures. A fall that you could bounce back from at 30 might put you in a hospital bed at 65. Vitamin D3 plays a key role in helping your body absorb calcium and phosphorus, the building blocks of strong bones. Without enough vitamin D3, even if you're taking calcium supplements or eating calcium-rich foods, much of that calcium won't actually be used to strengthen your bones. It'll just pass right through you. Next, let's talk about muscle function. Testosterone is important here, of course, but vitamin D3 itself has been linked to improved muscle performance, especially in older adults. Low levels of vitamin D are associated with muscle weakness, slower reflexes, and even balance problems. That means if you're low on D3, you're not just at risk of weaker workouts, you're at higher risk of falls and injuries in daily life. Then there's immune health. Vitamin D3 acts like the conductor of an orchestra when it comes to your immune system. It helps activate key immune cells that defend you against infections, while also calming excessive inflammation that can damage your tissues. That means you're better equipped to fight off colds, flu, and even more serious illnesses, and when you do get sick, you recover faster. It also supports heart health. Remember how we talked about the endothelium, that thin layer lining your blood vessels? Well, healthy endothelial cells don't just help with erections, they help maintain smooth, unrestricted blood flow throughout your entire cardiovascular system. Men with healthy vitamin D levels tend to have lower blood pressure, better cholesterol profiles, and reduced risk of heart disease. Now, here's one that surprises a lot of men: brain health and mood. Low vitamin D3 levels have been linked to depression, brain fog, and even cognitive decline. Part of this is because vitamin D3 helps regulate serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitters that keep your mood balanced and your motivation high. It also helps reduce neuroinflammation, which is a key factor in protecting memory and mental sharpness as you age. And let's not forget energy and stamina. Many men who start supplementing with vitamin D3 notice they simply feel more alert, more energetic, and more motivated to move. That's because the combination of better sleep quality, improved hormone balance, and healthier blood flow touches every part of your day. You're not dragging yourself out of bed, you're getting up with a sense of purpose. When you put all of this together, it's easy to see why I call vitamin D3 a cornerstone nutrient for men over 50. You're not just supporting one aspect of your health, you're laying a foundation that makes everything else in your life stronger, from your workouts to your immune system, from your mood to your relationships. But here's the thing: not all vitamin D3 supplements are created equal, and not every dose is right for every man. That's why in our final section, I want to guide you through how to choose the right form, the right dosage, and the right combination to get the absolute most out of this powerful vitamin, while avoiding the mistakes that can slow your progress or even cause harm. Gentlemen, by now you know exactly why vitamin D3 is so important, why taking it before bed can maximize its effects, and how it benefits far more than just your morning performance. But there's one more thing you absolutely need to know before you rush out and buy a bottle. Not all vitamin D3 supplements are created equal, and not every dosage is right for every man. Let's start with form. You'll see vitamin D sold in two main types, vitamin D2 ergocalciferol and vitamin D3 cholecalciferol. D2 is the plant-based form, and D3 is the form your body naturally produces when sunlight hits your skin. Numerous studies have shown that D3 is far more effective at raising and maintaining healthy vitamin D levels in the blood, especially for long-term health. So for men over 50, D3 is the clear winner. Next, consider delivery method. You'll find vitamin D3 in tablets, capsules, soft gels, sprays, and even liquid drops. Because vitamin D3 is fat soluble, it's best absorbed when taken with a little healthy fat. This is why I often recommend soft gels or liquid drops that are already dissolved in oil. They tend to have better absorption rates compared to dry tablets. If you do take a dry tablet, be sure to have it with something containing fat, like a few almonds or a teaspoon of olive oil. Now, let's talk about dosage. For the average healthy adult male, the general recommended daily intake falls somewhere between 2,000 IU and 5,000 IU per day. However, if your blood tests show you're severely deficient, your doctor may recommend a higher dose temporarily until your levels return to normal. The only way to know for sure where you stand is to get a simple blood test measuring your serum 25-hydroxyvitamin D levels. For optimal male health, research suggests that a blood level between 40 and 60 ng/ml is a sweet spot. Below 30, and you're deficient. Above 100, and you may be in the danger zone for toxicity. Yes, that's right, even though vitamin D3 is incredibly beneficial, too much of it can be harmful, leading to issues like kidney stones, calcium buildup in arteries, and other complications. That's why more is not always better. It's about finding the right amount for you. Here's my practical advice for most men over 50. If you haven't been supplementing and haven't had your levels checked, start conservatively somewhere around 2,000 IU to 3,000 IU per night with a small healthy fat snack. After 8 to 12 weeks, get your levels tested and adjust accordingly. You might also hear about combining vitamin D3 with vitamin K2, and I'm a strong supporter of this, especially for men concerned about heart and bone health. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium into your bones where it belongs and keeps it from depositing in your arteries. That means D3 and K2 together can strengthen bones and protect your cardiovascular system at the same time. Look for a supplement that provides around 100 to 200 mcg of vitamin K2 as MK7 alongside your D3. Another tip, consistency beats intensity. Taking the right dose every single night is far more effective than taking a huge amount once in a while. Your body works best when it gets a steady supply. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't dump a bucket of water on it once a month. You give it the right amount regularly so it can thrive. And finally, gentlemen, I want to stress this: supplements are powerful, but they are not magic on their own. You'll get the best results from your vitamin D3 if you pair it with a balanced diet rich in healthy fats, lean protein, and plenty of vegetables, along with regular physical activity, good sleep habits, and proper hydration. Think of D3 as the spark plug, but your whole lifestyle is the engine. If you follow this guidance, choosing the right form, taking the right dose, timing it before bed, and pairing it with healthy habits, you'll give your body exactly what it needs to restore strong testosterone levels, support robust circulation, and bring back those confident, energizing mornings you remember. So, gentlemen, here's my challenge to you. Make vitamin D3 your nightly ritual for the next 90 days. Track your energy, your mood, your performance, and yes, your morning vitality. I think you'll be surprised at how much this simple habit can reignite not just your mornings, but your entire life.